I don't know if you would be dead that long to make it into a museum.
That's true.
Usually museums are for really old stuff.
Right. Like Marcus is clearly museum quality.
Marcus is museum quality.
Well, on that note, a professional wet t-shirt contest.
We could never do this if we had Marcus here.
No, because he'd be like,
can you repeat that? Wait, so tell me again what, dude? No, dude, this is just way too complicated. We'll just
post
it. Do it live. We'll just do it live. It'll just be fine. No, we'll just screw it. Hey, Nick, do you hear that?
No, I don't hear anything.
It's nice, isn't it?
It is nice. I feel like I haven't gotten interrupted while I'm trying to say something in a while.
Yeah, it's just quiet.
It's really peaceful.
It is. Hey, I'm ATRAX.
And I'm Nick.
We are Working Class Nerds.
Cue the intro. That's right, we are Working Class Nerds, the podcast that gives you no information about your favorite information. And today is Thursday, April 13th, 2023, and you can find this 194 podcast on Apple Podcasts, Buzzsprout, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, and anywhere you can find podcasts in the galaxy far, far away.
You can also find every single Working Class Nerds episode on YouTube. Just search for the Working Class Nerds podcast or go to youtube.com/MarcusB814. Click on playlist, click on Working Class Nerds, and boom! Every episode past and present right at your fingertips. And guess what, Nick?
What?
The nerdiness doesn't stop at the podcast because there will be exclusive interviews posted on the YouTube channel in the coming days. Thank you. I love the ad lib. Let's go. Stay tuned to the end of the episode for a sneak peek at the epicness. We'll have a nice little bundle of snippets for you. And go check out the YouTube channel for those exclusive interviews. Speaking of epicness, you can watch Marcus epically get wrecked in Elden Ring and Destiny 2 Tuesday nights, Saturday nights, and Sunday nights at twitch.tv/MarcusB814.
And you can watch me play video games every single Monday night at twitch.tv/NickVern51.
You can also find us on social media. Marcus is at MarcusB814. I am at ATRAX_A.
And I'm at Nick Vern. That's NICKVR. And in this week's episode, it's the Nick and ATRAX show. Once again, Marcus is on his way to the airport right now for a family trip, and that means it's time for a roasting. You already heard a taste of it in the intro. But seriously, there's been a lot of Star Wars news we want to talk about. Of course, working class questions. And you'll get your snippet of the of our PAX interviews, which we'll release on YouTube as well in totality. But first, ATRAX, what have you been up to?
Thank you so much for asking, Nick.
No problem.
Again, it's nice to be able to just immediately have the floor before being interrupted, while being asked about what I've been up to.
Right, and not have somebody go, wait, before you talk about your week, I just want to talk about my thing because I'm more important than everyone else.
Yeah, and you know what's funny about that intro that you did and that thing that you said like 20 minutes ago?
Yeah.
Oh, good times. Marcus, you're awesome. So, I have been trying to finish the season pass for Call of Duty, the Modern Warfare 2 season pass.
Okay.
And I failed.
Okay, season 2 was rough. Season 1 I felt like, season 1 was longer, so I had more time. Season
1 was the first battle pass I had ever completed. And this
same.
one I failed miserably. I think I got to 56, 57%, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
I got all of the weapons, so that's good.
Me too, yeah.
I missed the blueprints, obviously. Well, some of them.
The blueprints I don't care too much about, though, because you can always, like if you just level up the gun, you can remake him, Like
but
the pro tuning.
Skins, man.
Well,
it's
the skins,
all about the skins.
There are, yes.
Skins equals wins. But yeah, I agree. Even the pro tuning, you can just find the numbers on YouTube or somewhere, I'm sure.
Right.
But this kind of marks me probably being done investing a whole lot of time into it. Maybe like not at all. Now, I'm not saying that if Rayu or you are playing, I won't, I'll definitely join in and come hang out with you guys.
Sure.
But I think I'm just going to move on. I think I've sunk like 130 hours into it.
Damn.
Which is the most that I've put into a game, a Call of Duty game in years. Yeah. So, that's kind of, it's like, well, hey, that's pretty good. Yeah, 132.7. So it's like I played it for a good amount. I got my money's worth out of it. I don't think I'm going to buy the new season pass. I'm just going to pass on it. I'm going to pass on it.
Pass on the pass. I got it.
And move on to other stuff because there's just too much going on.
I totally get it.
Especially too, now that they announced that they're not supporting it for 2 years, that makes me a lot less invested. I'm like, well, might as well dip out now instead of investing for another 3 months,
Right. That makes me, the not having 2 years thing makes me nervous about how the quality of the next game that comes out.
Right.
Because like that team is going from like, oh, cool, we have an extra year to develop this thing to, oh, fuck, we got to get this out by November. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And if what I heard is true or what I remember hearing is true, now faulty memory, right? This was a while ago too. It was supposed to be the patch or like the extra content for Modern Warfare 2 that they just decided to make a new game, which that to me is even more like than just adding it to Modern Warfare 2 because it's, I mean, just do it. Just like add it, mesh the games together. Like people have been asking for just a launcher for a while because, I mean, the Call of Duty brand is so broad. You have multiplayer, campaign, co-op, zombies. Now you have raids,
right?
And DMZ and Warzone. That's 7 modes right there.
Yeah, that's 7 like distinct game styles. That and then within those you have different modes too. Like in Warzone you have like solos, duos, trios, quads, and then like you have like the resurgence variant. So you like there's and then of course all the millions of kinds of different games in multiplayer.
There's regular multiplayer and ranked multiplayer, so you have to like manage the whole league, and the league changes every single time the game changes. Like,
right.
I feel maybe I'm wrong, but wouldn't they make more money if they just had one launcher and like each it's like, okay, Treyarch, you manage the zombies, and maybe it's because you'd have to have all of them work together to balance the weapons and whatnot. But
I don't
know.
I got some insight on. I was talking about the different Call of Duty games at practice this weekend with here's a little preview to the future with our guest next week, Connor Walsh, who used to work in like anti-hacking and like anti-hacking in terms
cybersecurity.
Of like, but within video games. He used to work for Rockstar.
Okay. Oh, nice.
He worked on, I believe, GTA 5 Online and a lot of Red Dead Redemption 2.
Okay.
So he he'll be on next week to chat about that. But basically he was saying, I thought that all the Call of Duty games ran on the same engine and just the different teams worked on it, but he said, no, they're different engines. And so that's probably why they don't have a shared launcher, because it's not the same game. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, they have a shared, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it wouldn't be just an update. But I think they should move to that. I feel like a live service model would be great. I mean, obviously they do it. The business people know better than me, but that seems like it would be a good idea. Like, as a consumer, that seems pretty sweet to me.
Maybe that's because it is.
Less
I guess it's kind of easier on our wallets, but also at the same time, I feel like it's less work for them. Maybe at this point it's more work to bridge that gap.
Right.
Then
I feel like after they set that up, it would be less work if you all three sort of variants of the game have you have the same engine, and then you're just like, okay, this studio did this one, this studio did this one, and I think it's not even one studio. It's like I'm pretty sure Treyarch and Sledgehammer and Raven, or like a bunch of different studios, worked on this game.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then they also made their own, but I don't know. I don't make video games, but I would like it to be better.
Yeah, we just play them and we talk about what we don't like. And talk about what we do and what we want more of.
Exactly.
I actually liked the Modern Warfare launcher, how they had like Cold War and Modern Warfare kind of in the same one, and Warzone. You remember?
Yep.
Like that was kind of the first glimpse of that.
Right.
And I think good.
No, they kind of moved away from it. Like you can sort of see that in this game in Modern Warfare 2, but like it's not. I don't like the UI at all in Modern Warfare 2 by comparison. I feel like it's a lot less intuitive, like the menu system, because you can scroll down and there's a game section, and then you can choose like Warzone or DMZ or like Modern Warfare 2. But like, I don't know, put them all in there. I don't get it. It's just not as intuitive. But no, I did like the other one where it's like, oh, which game do you want to play? You just click it and then it backs you out and brings up the next one.
And even if you had different games in a different engine, to have a launcher that could just take you to the separate games, and then as soon as you quit a game, it sends you back to that main screen, or you click a button to either quit the game to desktop or go back to the quote unquote like game selection screen.
Yeah.
Or even if you had one main launcher and then people paid like $20 to access multiplayer, $20 to access zombies, $20 to access campaign. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like people would also pay for that too, because it's like, oh great, I can just pay for the zombies and multiplayer. I don't have to pay for the campaign, like all this other stuff I don't want. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of different ways that they could go about it than just making a new game every year. Because it seems like they go game and live service. Service.
Yeah. I think they don't segment the purchasing because people just, I think they'd make less money because a lot of people will buy, like Marcus is a good example of this. Not that he's played this Call of Duty a lot, but like previous ones, he would like, I remember when I was younger and like the campaign was more important to me than the multiplayer. I was like looking forward to Call of Duty campaigns. Be like, oh, did you play it? It was cool. You did this, blah, blah, blah. And Marcus is like, yeah, I have like 100 something hours in the game and I've never opened the campaign once.
Right.
Because he just plays multiplayer. So like there's a lot of people that would buy the $60 game just because they want the multiplayer or the Warzone or whatever it is. But and that wouldn't have never paid for the campaign. So they make their money off of those people who are just going to pay the $60 no matter what. But I'm with you. I feel like there's a better way to go about it than how it currently is. But
yeah. I'm just complaining about having to spend so much money for every game. I just want to. It's just selfish. That's it. I'm just selfish.
And you do like to play a lot of different games.
That's true. That's true too.
So a guy like me, like I'm a 2-game guy. I've got Call of Duty, which is pretty locked in for a while now, and then I rotate the story based sort of RPGs as I go along. But I'm not playing like 6, 7, 8 games. Like, how many games this week? Different games did you play this week?
You know what's funny? Someone asked me that earlier today, and every single time I tell them, I get a different like response. Some people are either really shocked, they're like, "Whoa," or other people are like, okay,"
and they're like concerned.
Yeah, they look at me like, "You okay?"
Do you need to talk to somebody? Should I call you regularly?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No wonder you look so sad at work.
I feel like everyone looks kind of sad at work. Like,
yeah, that's true.
Like, I mean, I don't know, unless your job is like a professional, like wet t-shirt contest judge or something like that, then, that's a pretty sweet job. I'd be smiling at work.
But then I don't know. I don't know, Nick. I feel like after a while you'd just be like, it's 45 degrees out and I'm spraying water. It's cold.
Well, no, you're just the judge. You're off to the side.
Oh, you're a judge. Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, and you're just like 7 or like, whoa, 10. Or
you're like Simon Cowell.
Yeah.
My V-neck is deeper than yours.
Yes. You see, the dancing was great, but I gotta say the way the implants sit, it didn't resonate with me. The crowd or whatever, I don't know, some Simon Cowell-esque.
You had me at first, and I realized they were fake. 1 out of 10.
Yeah. You just hear, boom. Bananas, tomatoes flying by the judge's table.
Yeah. Exactly. All right. So to answer your question,
then you have Atrax in the middle, who's just high as a kite, and he's like, "I think they're great. 10."
No, that wouldn't be. No, that wouldn't be me. I would be sitting like in the corner on the floor with my laptop plugged in, just playing video games, like not even paying attention.
That's a good point. Good point.
Be like, Atrax, don't you want to watch? Like, why? I'm playing CS:GO or something. I don't know.
Aren't you guys recording it? I'll just watch it later. It's fine.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, I don't have my second monitor. I can't watch.
Right.
I just got my laptop.
Speaking of gaming, was there any like esports news?
Yes. I'm going to answer your question from earlier, though.
Oh, I forgot I even asked it.
The games that I've played. So we talked about Call of Duty already. WoW, Everspace 2, CS:GO, Prop Night, Tales of Arise, Yoshi's Crafted World, Story of Seasons, Friends of Mineral Town, the Resident Evil 4 remake, and there was one other one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's 9 here.
Wow.
Yeah, and my buddy was like, "Oh, wow, busy schedule." I was like, "Busy schedule or just an addict?"
See, what's crazy to me is most people that I think of that are like video game addicts, they play one game incessantly. Like, I have to finish this. I got like the battle pass. Like, I got to grind to get this one thing. But you're like, I'm going to play this for 3 hours. I'm going to play that for 3 hours. I'm going to play this for an hour and a half. You know what I mean? And it's interesting that you like have so much variety. And
I also I also feel like most video game addicts don't work or like, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Like I still have a job. I still have a family to, Well, it definitely impacts my life, but I don't think it's in a negative way.
It's not substantially.
Right. It's more of just like, oh, wow, that's what he chooses to do. Like some people play a lot of, I don't know, soccer or basketball or, you know, like.
Or paintball.
Yeah, or paintball. Or there are some people, I love the people that will be like, video games? You play a ton of video games? That's ridiculous. And then I'm like, well, what's your schedule like? I go to work, and then after work, I go to the gym, and I come home, and I go to bed.
Right.
What do you do on the weekends? I usually go to the gym, I'll work out, and then I'll go swimming, and then I'll go get something to eat, and I'll go back to the gym. I'm like, what? Come on, you're just trading one addiction for the other. Like I'm still healthy.
We're doing the same thing here.
Yeah, right.
Like my video games are your gym. It's the same fucking thing.
Yeah, right. As long as we're healthy, productive members of society, if we choose to spend all of our spare time playing video games, who cares, right?
Exactly. It's the working class nerds way.
Right. Working class nerds. You work, you do your nerding. All right. Yes. Thank you for looping it back after this long sidebar. The esports news, I have been watching a ton of the Blast Paris Major RMR qualifiers. So these are the regional qualifiers for the final Counter-Strike Global Offensive tournament ever.
Oh, wow,
not final Counter-Strike tournament. The final CS:GO major tournament. There will be other tournaments, but this is the last Valve-sponsored major. There's always 2 majors a year. This is the last one. The next major will be Counter-Strike Source 2.
Right, the new game.
The new one, which is releasing sometime this summer.
Sweet.
So it's definitely all eyes on the qualifiers. Pretty much all of my teams have qualified. I've got like 6 teams that I cheer for. I'm one of those people where there's all sorts of different players that I enjoy watching. And so then when they kind of spread to different teams and, oh, well, this team was once together and I really like this core, but now 3 of them are over here and 2 of them are still here. And I kind of like the players that they matched up with. So now I'm cheering for both teams. So, you know, like kind of as leagues, as I'm sure most sports fans know, as leagues grow and you sort of with time you watch them and teams split off and you cheer for different teams. I don't know. You just really get invested in enjoying the game, really no matter what team you're watching. But I have quite a few. One North American team that I was really cheering for is in Team Liquid. They're in, and Cloud9. Or wait, are they in? I don't know. Anyway, Cloud9 are
where
in.
are Liquid and where are they both from?
Team Liquid?
Are they just gaming teams? They don't have. It's not like Columbus Cloud9 or something, or like.
Yeah, no, they're not. They're not tied to a specific area. They're just the North America region.
Got it.
And then there's like the European region. So you got NA and EU, and then there's the Asia. I think it's Asia Pacific region.
Okay.
And Australia.
That is a country.
I can't remember. Right. And I forget what the other one is. But there are quite a few regions. All of these qualifiers are going on. Everybody wants to make it to the major. A lot of the teams that I've been cheering for have qualified. All of the big names that should be qualified are pretty much qualified, at least for my personal picks and whatnot. So a lot of hype going into the last Counter-Strike Global Offensive Major. There is one player, Dupree, who is on one of the teams I'm cheering for, Team Vitality. He is the only person to have attended, at least as far as I know, to have attended all of the CSGO majors.
Wow.
So even though maybe they lost in groups or something, doesn't matter, attended all of them, officially played in all of the CSGO majors, and he won 4 of them. So
damn. He must be old. He must be so old.
I think he's in his 30s.
He must be almost as old as Marcus at this point.
Probably.
That's you're getting
30.
into
He's 30.
You're getting into fossilized territory.
Yeah. Born 1993.
See,
Boomer.
that's funny. My boomer. That's funny because my joke to my ball busting of Marcus just completely backfired because he's closer to my age than Marcus is.
Oh no!
I'm 28,
Yeah.
so I'm basically 32. It's the same thing. He's my age essentially, but
but you're not over 30,
right? That's true.
Can you imagine? Oh,
I know.
Man.
I'm definitely dinosaur bones, but I'm not fossilized. There's a difference. I'm not in a museum yet. If you dug me up, it'd be oh, this is a decayed animal, a Tyrannosaurus body.
I don't know. Would you
My analogy's
be in a
failing here.
museum? You would probably be in some local history. I don't know if you would be dead that long to make it into a museum.
That's true.
Usually
that's what
museums
I mean.
are for really old stuff.
Right. Marcus is clearly museum quality. But
Marcus is museum quality.
Right.
Museum quality Marcus.
Museum quality Marcus is the name of the episode.
Museum Marcus, yeah. Oh, I love it. Okay. But yeah, so the Blast Paris Major is super exciting. Check out I don't know how long it's running for. I imagine it's running for a couple weeks. I will have more updates on that as I stop getting lazy and look for them. But we'll have random watch parties when I have time. I'll just hop into the Discord and start streaming it. Doritos and Rayu and Nick, and we've had quite a few different community members stop in and say hello. Dickles is another one.
Oh, yeah.
So shout out to everybody that stops by for the random watch parties. I know I literally never announce them, and it's just if you happen to be looking at the Discord. So always go check the Discord and see if we're hanging out there, especially on the weekends. That's when we usually, Friday, Saturday, Sunday nights, Pacific Standard and Eastern Standard Time nights. That's the best place to find us in the Discord.
Perfect.
Yes.
Agreed. I really enjoyed the watch party that I did. Those are fun.
Oh, yeah.
I watched the UConn championship game there for basketball.
Yeah, the basketball game. That was fun.
I'm not a basketball fan at all, but it was just fun to just hang out and watch it with other people. I wish I used to, quick sidebar, I used to the girl I dated in college, she studied abroad for a semester and I didn't. So we were apart for a whole semester of school, but we would try to watch stuff using these terrible apps to watch a show together. And like if I just used Discord, that would have worked way better. Although you can't do that with certain shows, but like I remember I tried to do that with House of the Dragon with Marcus on HBO Max.
Yeah, there's a workaround that you have to do. There's a couple settings you have to adjust.
Open it in Tor
like
or
Google
something.
Chrome and stuff. No, it's just like you have to disable your hardware acceleration, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, it's like a couple things, and then it makes it so that Discord doesn't recognize that it's like a prohibited stream content or something.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a very legal way of doing things.
Yes, definitely
That's all
legal.
I know.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. But anyways, it's cool. Watch parties are cool.
Yeah, watch parties are a lot of fun. Be sure to check out in the Discord for our Blast Paris major random watch parties that never get announced, and it'll probably be very hard to find. But if you do, man, is it a gem to find.
Oh, yeah.
You know what else is a gem to find? Games on Switch. Even though this is a super popular one. I've been trying, so the past couple of weeks, it happens pretty regularly where I have these patches where it's a little difficult to just like fall asleep. And so I have to, because I used to, normally I can just lay in bed at the end of the day. Within 10 minutes, I'm out. But sometimes I will lay in bed for an hour or two before I actually fall asleep. And it's usually because I'm just like too busy and I'm focused on so much stuff that I just, my mind is still really, really racing. So in order to calm down, I've been playing one of two games when I feel like it on my Switch for an hour before bed, or maybe half an hour, depending on the day. But for a good amount of time before bed, because those games are very like simple.
Yeah.
And they're just calm, and you can just chill and relax with them. So the first one I've been playing is Yoshi's Crafted World.
Okay.
And Yoshi is one of my favorite Mario characters, just in general. Obviously green, but Yoshi is super helpful. He can fly and throw eggs and roll around and stuff. And everybody loves Yoshi. I mean, Yoshi's super cute.
For sure.
So Yoshi's Crafted World, swooped it up while it was on sale a while ago. And I've been playing it. It's been really relaxing. I've been enjoying it as just a calm platformer. I like that there are some things that you have to, in order to collect all of the flowers, so like the main, instead of stars like in Mario, then you collect flowers. And so some of the flowers you have to go back to, after you've completed more of the game, you have to go back and talk to some of the local, like the little townsfolk on the board.
Yep.
Because you know how like classic Mario games have that board style where it's like 1-1, and then you move Mario to 1-2. So that's how Yoshi's is. But then you move back, and there are different characters that have quests and stuff for you to do, and then you can gain more. But what's nice is they make it so that as soon as you complete the quest in the level that you've already completed, it says, you have completed the quest. Do you want to just leave the course now? So you don't have to actually complete the course that you've already completed like a bunch of times probably in order to get all of the flowers and coins and whatnot.
Yeah.
But you don't have to complete it. You can just boop right out. I've completed the quest, right back out and go and get your flower. So I like that mechanic. I think that it's a really, really good one.
Definitely, that's nice. You don't have to, like, it doesn't feel like you're wasting time. It feels like you're like actually just completing the objective and then you're moving on to the next thing. I have the trailer, the launch trailer. This looks cool.
Oh, nice.
It's got some Paper Mario vibes with some of the art style. Like some of the enemies are papery.
Right. And it's funny that you mentioned that because I'm waiting for Paper Mario to go on sale because I think I'm going to keep up this just like half an hour to an hour thing up. And already what was on sale for Mario Day, because, March 10th, Mario, it was...
I never knew that. Okay.
Yeah, Mario, March 10th.
Got it. I got it.
So they had the Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury on sale for 20% off. I think it was $40. And because I've purchased a couple of games over the course of the last year, I've saved up some of my coins.
Yep.
You know, you get like gold coins, gold Nintendo coins. So I had like $15 off. So I ended up getting the game for I think 25 something.
Nice.
So I'm excited. I'll play that after I beat Yoshi's Crafted World. I'll hop into Super Mario. And then I'm waiting for Paper Mario to go on sale. And that's when I'll just keep this because I've been sleeping a lot better with this like kind of mental just calming down.
Totally. Like I used to play I gotta like get my Game Boy up and get running or like buy an emulator thing.
Oh yeah.
I have two sidebars. One this one. The I used to do that in bed and you definitely like wind down better than like if you're on your phone or something.
Right.
But, and definitely a lot better than if you're sitting at your computer to like locked into whatever game. But second sidebar, did you see the new Tears of the Kingdom trailer, number 3?
The one you sent me today?
Yes.
Yes,
yeah.
I did.
Oh,
Yeah,
so like I know I said this in our group chat, but like that trailer, I don't know why, like the other trailers weren't really, except, I mean, the teaser grabbed me a little bit. The initial one where you just see like the hand, like the magical hand thing, grab Link or whatever. That was like, ooh, that's interesting. I wonder what's going to happen. And then like, but the other trailers didn't grab me the way this one did because you actually see like, I don't know, a lot of action and like the way that like Link would interact with like enemies and in fights and stuff. And then like you see a bunch of Ganon. You actually see he's like human form Ganon, which is cool. Yeah. So it's like it makes you, and you hear dialogue from him. He's talking shit to Link. It's like I forget the line, but it's like, oh, like look closely because you're watching a real king or something like that. Like he's all funky and stuff. It was just cool. Like it actually made me like want to play it. I'm like, oh, this seems awesome. Like I want to get involved. You know.
Yeah, I agree with you. The only thing, and maybe because I mentioned this in the group chat too. Like I bought those Nintendo vouchers. And
yeah, what are those? Can you explain that?
So
I didn't get it.
So there's a list of games that you can redeem Nintendo vouchers for.
Okay.
And you can purchase 2 Nintendo vouchers for $100. So the kind of the idea is like you get $20 off of 2 Nintendo games that are on the list.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So, for example, I got Super Mario Strikers, and for my first set, I've bought a couple. But for my first set, I bought Super Mario Strikers and Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Okay, yep.
So I got those 2, and normally those would be $120. So it's like I saved, quote unquote, saved $20.
Sure. Yeah.
And those 2 games I played a ton of for the flight between back and forth between Boston, and I still play those just occasionally. But now because games are moving up to $70, then you're really saving like $40. And they have Legend of Zelda on there. They have the new game on there. So some games that you can pre-order, you can redeem for a voucher.
Oh, nice. So yeah, so you're essentially, that's cool. So you can just pay $50 instead of 70.
And the vouchers,
you just have to buy 2 at a time though, right?
Right. So it's $100. Nice. So it's like it is $100. You have to pay $100, but you get 2 vouchers.
Right.
And they're good for a year.
That's
so
sweet.
You can save them for 8 months. And in 8 months, if there's a game that comes out, so like now you can redeem it for Legend of Zelda. So it'd be like, Link or the, I don't know when the release date is for that game.
I forgot. I'll look it up now, but continue.
But so because it's a pre-order, right? Then you can get it on launch and you have,
oh my God, it comes out soon, May 12th.
Oh yeah, next month.
Dun, dun, dun.
Wow, pretty much a month from today.
Yep. Wow. Well, that's crazy. Fucking awesome. I'm excited.
Yeah. So it is kind of worth it if you don't want to wait for Nintendo games to go on sale, which is very rare. At least in my experience, I've had games on my wish list for forever. And I think they've been on sale once, and the one time, then I didn't really have the budget to be able to do it. So it's just kind of like, you got to be kidding me. So You can do it the Disney voucher or the Nintendo vouchers are pretty good. I don't know why Disney came up.
I get the same vibes. I get you.
Yeah. The other game that I've been playing to kind of relax is called Story of Seasons Friends of Mineral Town. I mentioned it in my list. That is a Harvest Moon game. Well, it's not a Harvest Moon game. It's a Harvest Moon style game, but it's basically Harvest Moon. You have a farm.
Is that kind of like Animal Crossing?
Yes. So it's kind of like Animal Crossing, except it's not real time.
Uh-huh.
So Animal Crossing is like you do all your stuff and you can't really do anything until the real world tomorrow.
Yep.
Well, in Story of Seasons and Harvest Moon, time passes at regular intervals, like it's game time.
Yeah.
And the days are pretty quick. I don't know what the actual time is, but every maybe 2 or 3 seconds, maybe it's more like 5 seconds, maybe every 5 seconds it ticks up 10 minutes. So your day starts at 6 a.m. and you have a certain amount of energy. You go out and you water your crops, and you take care of your animals and whatever. And there's people in the town that you can develop friendships and you can get married. And then there's like different stories for each of the different games. But I mostly just play it, like I said, at the end of the day to just kind of chill out. And, I started this farm from nothing. And now I've, acquired all of the different mixers and farms and barns and all the extra land that I can buy. And there's a mine, so you can go mining. I've delved into the mine really far. Just that type of stuff. It's very simple, basic fun. Just kind of chill. It's good chill vibes is how I would describe it.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
What is Everspace 2? You mentioned it before, and I have no idea what that game is.
Yeah, so Everspace 2 is it's like an RPG. Imagine Star Wars Squadrons, like that fighter style game play.
Yep.
But an RPG.
Okay.
So I've been recording and working with some video editing for that, and I don't know if I'll put it out or not. I'm really hoping to. Right now I'm playing the demo and I'm recording all of it and editing it together. I already have one done. I'm going to work on more, but it's basically you fly around in space and blow stuff up, and you can gather items, at least from what I've understand. I only played like maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours, but you gather items to build your home base, and then you can travel to different planets. There's all sorts of different quests. You can explore different areas. There's unexplored zones. You can go and explore the zones and then find different loot and all sorts of other things like that. So it's really just like a flying game, ship emulator. I don't even really know how to describe it, but it is a lot of fun. I know that much.
Cool. Well, that sounds pretty sweet.
Yes. And it was on sale, but it's not anymore. However, it is on Game Pass. So if you want to try it out, go check it out on Xbox Game Pass and potentially look out for a Let's Play done by me. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. But I do want to get into creating some like quote unquote family friendly content.
Yep.
In terms of, like you can just put it on for anybody if you got your kids up or whatever. And Everspace 2 kind of fits that because it's not like super actiony. It's more of like like Star Wars is kind of for the family, but also not at the same time. It's like
yes, yeah.
So
like Kenobi's like Obi-Wan's like this really nurturing, like fatherly figure, sort of mentor figure, but then also like hacks people's arms off.
Yeah, well, and even though the movies deal with very like the themes are rather
intense.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, when I was a kid, I watched Star Wars. It's the best way to describe it. So that type of just cool, calm, relaxed, non-ragey, I don't know, just chill content.
I get you.
Family-friendly chill content is what I'm going for and what I've been brewing up and working on lately.
Excellent. Sounds great.
And this is normally the time where I'd ask Marcus how it's going. But
Oh, wait, actually, you just ask him because I think we have a soundbite we can put in here.
oh, really?
Yeah,
Hey
yeah.
Marcus. Hey Marcus, how's it going?
Just getting wrecked in Elden Ring while I'm on vacation. I hate the game, but I still play it by myself because I can't handle the fact that this game is way too difficult for me, and I can't get past regular enemies.
Oh, dude, like it's actually ridiculous. One time I had like 1,000 runes and I was just walking by and this guy, he just dropped from like nowhere, bro. And he killed me and I lost all my runes. It was actually ridiculous. I raged so hard, but you know what? 20 minutes later, I was back and I beat him. Yeah. Yeah.
This is great. My impression of Marcus was a lot better in my head, but well, we're leaving it in there.
Oh man!
So
Marcus, you're awesome. Nick, how have you been doing?
I'm pretty good. I have also been playing a lot of Call of Duty. If you couldn't tell from what we were talking about earlier, I was grinding the Battle Pass for Season 2 as well. I got to probably about the same point as ATRAX did, like between 50 and 60%, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
I did play a little bit of Season 3 before the show. I kind of like it. I'm using the two guns are like a bullpup, which is where the magazine is like in the stock of the rifle, bullpup assault rifle, which I did not unlock yet, and I chose to go unlock the intervention first. So I have the new sniper rifle. And I will say that thing's pretty sweet. It's got really fast ADS time. My gripe with that, the way they balance it, is like there's a lot more idle sway in that gun than a different sniper. So like you can get down your sight fast, but you're gonna have to adjust a little bit more once you're there.
I do remember though that the original intervention had quite a bit of that. Like,
yes, so
unless
it seems
you
like
had the
attachments and stuff to like
the attachments. That's the word I was looking for. Does it have the original sound?
I don't know. I don't remember the original sound. Well, I'm sure it's on the YouTubes. But I'm enjoying it. Season 3 is pretty cool. There's a couple new maps. If you buy the Battle Pass bundle, which I actually did because I don't know, I wanted it. I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty and I like to treat myself sometimes, and it was like $30. So
I mean, there you go.
I just want to do it. And like all the aesthetics for like the skins for your operators are a lot of black and gold, which I think is cool. Like I like the gold stuff. Matches the gold guns that I'm trying to get. But
the gold guns.
Gold. Yes. I'm trying to do I don't remember what Goldfinger or Goldmember's voice sounded like in Austin Powers, but that's pretty fun. I'm looking forward to that. I think Season 3 is cool. I'm looking for. Is the raid out too? Did that come out with it? Do you know?
Hold,
I don't know. But I'm looking forward to playing the raid. I really liked episode 2. I thought it was way better than episode 1, so I definitely want to beat that raid with ATRAX and Rayu, and maybe, just maybe, I'll do it on a Monday night. In no spoilers, I won't spoil anything, but Mando episode 7, that's the penultimate episode of the season in Season 3, was way better, finally. I feel like this season has not really had good overall story arc direction. Seems like it just sort of meandering a little bit, which other seasons have done that too, but there was still an overarching like conflict. So I feel like this season has been without conflict largely, without a like overarching conflict. And so this episode finally got that going. A lot of crazy stuff happened. A lot of cool things, and I really enjoyed it.
Nice.
Looking forward, I'm pretty pumped about going to Texas for paintball. And 2 weeks from today, I'll be leaving. I fly out next Thursday. So I will not be on the show in 2 weeks, but next week I will be. I'm playing in the NXL Lone Star State Major Tournament.
Oh, nice. Do they make you use extra large paintballs? Because everything's bigger in Texas.
No, no, it's just way hotter and I die. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Last year there was a tournament in Dallas that I played, and that was fucking awful. I like legit got heat stroke the first day.
Ooh,
that was rough. Yeah,
because you don't have like special t-shirt
no
padding.
No, I mean
extra padding for hot climates.
Well, no, you want less padding in the hot climates, but like
I meant ventilated. My bad.
No, it's all just your regular jersey, which is all like moisture wicking and stuff. But like,
right,
you're still wearing long pants, long sleeves. I wear a head wrap, which is like a mesh do-rag essentially, and then it's a paintball style. Don't be judging me, non-paintball people. And then a headband. So like your head's covered. You're mostly covered because you want a little bit of fabric when you get shot. If you get shot by a paintball in bare skin, it sucks.
But, it hurts.
Yeah, and like I don't know, that's just the style. Like you wear long pants, like the jerseys are long sleeve, the whole thing. You wear pads on your forearms and elbows, and then like that's one pad, and then your knees. But that's for sliding and stuff. That's not like for protection against the paintballs. But it's a lot. You get hot for sure. You get very hot, and like something about that Texas sun, it hits different. Like it just dries you out way different. I drank over a gallon of water, and I was like peeing orange. And like I drank a gallon of water by like I think I got there probably 8 a.m, but it was like 1 o'clock and I already killed a gallon of water. And,
wow!
Like that's how hot. Like it was. I was so hot that I was dry. Like my skin was dry, like because the sweat was. I was pouring sweat and didn't even know because it was evaporating off of me so fast.
Wow!
That's how I got into trouble with like the heat strokey thing. My face was beat red. I felt all dizzy and shit. It was terrible. I had to just like lay in the shade and just keep drinking like liquid IVs and water. But I ended up feeling fine, but it was rough, is my point. That's what I mean by, like, the sun hits different, because it's probably 85 degrees, but something about, like, that area, like, the sun just, like, sapped the moisture out of me a lot faster than it, like, normally would. But
well, the temperature could be, like, 80 outside, but the sun could be 100.
Yeah.
You know,
like
and like you said, it just sucks it right out of you.
Right. Well, on that note, in AIE news, Tuesdays are guild night for both Star Wars: The Old Republic and Destiny 2. Marcus runs the Destiny 2 one. If you want to hang out with Marcus, you might even be on his stream if you play Destiny 2 on Tuesdays. Those are we call them guild night now, but we used to call them mandatory fun night, where the fun is mandatory, but attendance is not, and it's fun. Usually you get together, play some just frivolous content. I know Marcus likes to do a lot of like private PvP to end the evening with all the folks. If you get a lot of people in the Destiny 2 guild night shenanigans. So it's always pretty fun. And if all this sounds fun to you, go to aie-guild.org. Get our Discord information in the top right-hand corner of the website. Look for that purple button and ask for a guild invite, whether or not you play Star Wars: The Old Republic, Destiny 2, World of Warcraft, Pokemon, Guild Wars 2, Lord of the Rings Online, Elder Scrolls Online, whatever game you play, so do we, and we would love to have you. And with that, I gotta pee. So we'll be right back.
My God, what is taking him so goddamn long?
Nick, hurry up, man.
It's all that beer you're drinking. Come on, bro.
Rose for 4 hoes, man. Get off Snapchat.
Meanwhile, back on the ranch.
You know what's funny about this, like, interrupting thing is I interrupt you, like, all the time in this episode.
Oh, yeah, I know. We do it to each other constantly. But, like, since Marcus is not here, we're just making it seem like he does it all the time.
We're just making it seem like it's only him that does it.
Right. It's fantastic.
Good time.
And we're back. So today we're talking about some awesome Star Wars news that we got from Star Wars Celebration this week. We got the Ahsoka trailer, the official trailer, the real trailer, not a teaser. And there was a lot of interesting details. There was some little hologram of, there's Harrison Dula from Rebels. There was Ezra from Rebels on a little hologram, like someone was calling him. I forgot who it was. But couple things stuck out to me the most. You got the Ahsoka said the line, "He's the heir to the Empire," which is a callback, if you don't know, to the original expanded universe content, like the first outside of the original trilogy content for Star Wars that there was. That was a book. That was a book released in, I don't know, the mid to late 80s somewhere, called Heir to the Empire, that focused on my favorite character in all of Star Wars, Mithran Yorodo, also known as Grand Admiral Thrawn. So he is a Chiss species, so he's blue skin with glowy red eyes, and he's a master tactician. So he was a Grand Admiral in the Imperial Navy, so he had like his own fleet, and he was he was high in the Chiss army first, and they're from like way outside of the Star Wars galaxy. They're from like the unknown regions, and he worked his way up from a cadet through the ranks of the Empire and became a Grand Admiral. His big sort of to do is he's super duper like tactically is just like a complete genius, but he derives a lot of his tactical knowledge from his ability to look at a certain species or culture's art and derive like their habits in battle from their art. So that's explored in Rebels a little bit, and it's explored a lot in the books, but he's the big bad guy in the Heir to the Empire novels. It's a trilogy. And then they redid, when Disney took over, they made two separate trilogies. A Thrawn trilogy where he's in the Empire, and then they did a prequel trilogy where it's him going through the Chiss Ascendancy is the name of the sort of Chiss like civilization. It's like him rising through the military ranks in the Chiss as well, which is very cool. So anyways, he's been mentioned a bunch of times a couple times, once in The Mandalorian, and then again, of course, in this, he was in Rebels. He was last seen with Ezra Bridger from Rebels. Minor spoiler for Rebels, the ending of Star Wars Rebels. If you haven't seen it, just click forward like 30 seconds. We last saw Thrawn with Ezra Bridger, who's like a Padawan that just basically at the end of Rebels is like a Jedi Knight, and they're fighting. And the way that Ezra gets them out of the conflict is he uses these essentially space whales that can travel to light speed, and he right. Thank you, Atrax.
I had to. I'm sorry. We do that at work in the warehouse because, like, when it's quiet, nobody's around. You just go, "Ee," and it like echoes. Quick sidebar.
That's funny.
So anytime someone says whale, I have to do whale noises.
Of course, you're basically Dory. What the hell was I talking about? Oh yeah. So, all right. Well,
Dory.
Hey, if you've checked back in because you're avoiding Rebels spoilers. Fast forward 30 seconds again.
Yeah, sorry.
So Ezra Bridger, like he's a Padawan at the beginning of the show, is a knight by the end of it.
Summons whales.
Fighting Thrawn. He has like this force connection to animals. He summons these space whales called the Purgil, which you actually saw in Mando season 3 for like one of the early episodes, just a glimpse. And they travel to light speed with Thrawn and him to you don't know where. They're just gone. And then the end of that, like it fast forwards like I don't know a certain number of years, and Ahsoka and Sabine Wren, who's also in this trailer, adult Sabine Wren, who's a Mandalorian gal. It leaves off that they're looking for Thrawn and Ezra, like they haven't found him. And then of course we see in Mandalorian season 2 that Ahsoka is still looking for Thrawn and Ezra. So she asks that not Empress, like the head lady of that village they come across, that like, hey, where's Grand Admiral Thrawn? So that's all super interesting. But what I thought was really interesting, and I had not seen anything about or like heard of before, where you get in the Ahsoka trailer, you get all the whole cast of Rebels essentially, aside from the big purple guy, which you saw in season 3 of Mando. But his name is escaping me. Anyways, the two characters that I've not seen before that are shown in the trailer pretty prominently are these two orange lightsaber wielding Force users, and they're dressed in all black robes. One's like an older gentleman that has sort of short gray hair, and then like a sort of bushy but like well kept gray beard, and he looks a lot like Valkorion from Star Wars: The Old Republic. And I thought that might have been Valkorion, and that would have been a cool story to talk about, but it's not. Then the other characters similarly like dark robes, dark orange lightsaber, and looks kind of like Milana Beniko, where she has like a similar haircut, but her hair is actually white instead of blonde, and she has like really light eyes, like unnaturally light colored blue. I think it's super light blue eyes, or maybe even white. But their names are different. I don't remember their full names, but their names are Skull something and Hati something. And apparently, Skull and Hati are these two pairs of wolves. This pair of wolves in Norse mythology, where the Norse sort of story about the end of the world, where they called Ragnarok. Skull and Hati are these wolves that perpetually are chasing the sun and the moon across the sky. And I think that's supposed to be like, that's why the sun and the moon move across the sky, because they're running away from the wolves. Well,
okay.
in Ragnarok, when Ragnarok happens, Skull and Hati catch the sun and the moon, and they go, and the sun and moon die. So that's part of the like apocalypse lore. So them naming Skull and Hati those two dark, sort of orange lightsaber wielding characters in very dark robes, seem like they're dark side force users, but their lightsabers are not red, so they're not Sith. So I think honestly, between the Skull and Hati reference and then like the orange colored lightsabers, I think these are dark Jedi that we've never seen before, and especially because, like, I especially think that because in this trailer you get Ahsoka saying heir to the Empire, and in the Heir to the Empire novel, the original one, there's a dark Jedi whose name I forgot, that's supposed to be as powerful as Palpatine and like really a big deal, and that's one of the main antagonists, so that like fights against Thrawn and things like that. So I think that's what this is supposed to be. It's like a dark Jedi and like an apprentice or like an upstart. I don't know how the dark Jedi philosophy really works, honestly. I think it's roughly something to the effect of like, yes, they think that like you should be able to use all sides of the Force, not just the light side, and then the Sith are like too evil, essentially, is their philosophy. But long story short, I'm super pumped for Ahsoka. Like, I think I might be more pumped for Ahsoka than I've not been super satisfied with Mandalorian season 3, so I'm super duper pumped for the Ahsoka series. And this trailer hypes it up a lot. If you want a little bit more eloquent of an explanation, go watch after you watch the exclusive interviews on youtube.com/MarcusBA14. After you watch our videos, go watch Screen Crush or New Rockstar's breakdown of the Ahsoka trailer. They put that together a little bit better than I did, especially Screen Crush. He's my favorite. Shout out to Ryan Airy and Doug, of course, who Marcus loves. Marcus just loves Doug the dog. Doug's Marcus's favorite. In fact, I challenge you this. If you, listeners, can go and tag Marcus in a post in whichever channel on the Discord you want, just find a picture of Doug the dog from the Screen Crush YouTube channel and say, hey, Marcus, I heard you love Doug so much. I just wanted you to see this picture. Just say that, post in the Discord, and you'll get a prize. I don't know what the prize is. It might be nothing. It might be a crisp high five. It might be a sticker. It might be a Working Class Nerds mug. I don't know yet. I'm going to figure it out after. I'm flying by the seat of my pants. But it's all worth it because it's going to make Marcus mad. So,
yeah, it might just be the appreciation of the entire community, but know that Marcus will be, oh, dude, you got to be kidding me. You got the community involved now? Oh, you got this is ridiculous.
First the waffles, then the pineapple, and then the push for pink, and I've got Doug the dog everywhere.
Oh, no. Maybe I should just leave the podcast because clearly I'm not even wanted. Marcus, come on, man. Yeah. Oh, man.
I'm gonna get that laugh he does on stream down at some point, but I've clearly not nailed it yet. Yeah, that's like I can't do it. An impressionist, I am not. So also at Star Wars Celebration, 3 new Star Wars movies were announced. That's a big deal. They're not related. It's not another trilogy. So it's 3 separate movies set in all totally different time periods, which I really appreciate. I'll start with the one that I'm sort of the least excited about, only because I don't have a lot of faith in the character. But the first movie is directed by lady named Charmine Obaid Chinoy, and I might have butchered her pronunciation there, but she was the director of Miss Marvel and lots of other content that I just was not familiar with. But this movie is set 15 years after the rise of Skywalker and follows Rey as the protagonist of the movie, while Rey is restarting or sort of redeveloping the Jedi Order. So that's set after the whole Skywalker saga, totally unrelated. But I'm not super pumped about that because I have such a bad taste in my mouth from the sequel trilogy. It was so bad. So I'm like, and like that's nothing against Daisy Ridley and her acting or anything like that. So like I'm just hoping that this is a fresh start.
It's
like,
the writing.
The writing was terrible.
It's the writing.
The writing was horrendous. So like, I like Daisy Ridley. I think she's a really great actor/actress. I forget how to say that properly. She's great at her job.
Very talented.
Super talented. Did a great job as Rey, given the terrible material she had to work with. But so I'm like, the least like sure it's going to be a good thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'm with you because, and this is solely off of just like I just don't know,
Gut
right?
feeling.
Like you said, Rey restarting the Jedi Order. To my first initial thought, like the idea is just like why,
Right.
like I don't know why. They're out of all the things that you could do
with Rey. I don't
well,
know.
with Rey, with Star Wars in general. I know we'll talk about the other two movies too.
Yeah, of course.
I just mean, I trust Disney as a company to, and maybe I don't anymore, but I generally trust Disney as a company to have like the foresight to be able to, especially after with Marvel, like being able to set up a good universe, and they already have the super strong foundation for one.
Yeah.
Like why I'm just questioning like why is this the direction? And when you have like, and I think a lot of fans will kind of be in the same boat where it's just kind of, if you're already going in with that perception and then it's not super good, then the potential for it to be very negative is very high.
Yeah, totally. But I mean, to sort of dispel, like I'm also skeptical of this for the record.
Yep.
But to dispel some of your sort of concerns, I guess, the director, Charmin Obaid-Chinoy, who I think I'm mispronouncing that, but she directed Ms. Marvel for Disney and the whole Marvel franchise. That ties into WandaVision, ties into Captain Marvel, ties into the Avengers, Infinity War, like everything that like Captain Marvel was in. She like this ties into that and sets it up for the future. Sets it up for a future movie, The Marvels. So I think that's the name of it. But anyways, my point being, if somebody knows how, like this person is clearly well versed in like tying together a larger universe and like telling a story within that univerce, right? Like, and I thought Ms. Marvel was okay. It wasn't a great. I don't think that was like a great story, but I think it was executed really well. It just wasn't the source, like the comic material is not great in my opinion comparatively to other Marvel content. But I think the show was done really great, and this person clearly knows how to make something great in a larger universe with lots of lore. So like, I think the tools are set up properly, and like I'm getting the vibe that it's like a fresh start for Rey. It's like, okay, this is a cool character. We want to talk about a time period that's after those movies. So it's 15 years after. That's a pretty good chunk after. So it's like just long enough to where whatever happens in those movies is not really relevant anymore to the story, but you can like grab a character that you're familiar with and still bring him with you, bring that character with you. So I think that's what they're doing with Rey. Because if you're going to pluck a character out of that franchise, you're going to pluck the main character. You know what I mean? Yeah, of course. So I guess, I'm skeptical because of how bad the sequel trilogy was, but if you're going to do it and you're going to continue, take a character out of that, like I get it. And I think it sounds like this is set up pretty well. So I'm like optimistic, but skeptical, Mm-hmm. But anywho, the thing that I'm like, I'm going to talk about these in the order that like, of how confident,
excited you are.
Excited, yeah. So the second thing, it's actually, I bet you're going to be surprised that I'm excited the most about this other one, but second most excited is actually the movie that's going to be directed by Dave Filoni. Now, I fucking love pretty much everything Dave Filoni touches. I love Clone Wars. I love Rebels. I love his work. Every Mandalorian episode he's directed has been an absolute home run. And I think Jon Favreau is great too. Jon Favreau wrote all of season, I think almost every episode of The Mandalorian. He wrote all of season 3, and I don't love season 3, so my faith in Jon Favreau has gone down a little bit. But Dave Filoni's never directed an actual like big blockbuster. I don't think he's ever directed a movie, and he's directing this movie that's going to wrap up the Mandalorian story, Book of Boba Fett, and Ahsoka, telling about how like the New Republic falls and it leads into the First Order. So it's going to wrap up all those storylines once the shows are done. So that's exciting because of the content, but I'm a little nervous that Dave Filoni is directing a movie, his first movie ever, and it's like a big epic Star Wars movie. But his other content that he's made is so good that like it's probably going to be great, Do you? I don't know. Do all these characters survive into the First Order? Mando, Boba, Ahsoka, like canonically, or do we just not know? We just don't know because they're not like around, like they're not directly
They're
involved
just
in the
not
conflict.
present. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So this
So in theory, they could
answer it.
Yeah, they could be around. They just don't know what the heck happened. Like what they're doing.
Right.
But that's interesting. That's great because it sounds like that'll be a cool wrap up for those shows. I'm really enjoying. The Mandalorian is probably one of my favorite TV shows ever. Definitely some of my favorite Star Wars content. Not season 3, but season 1 and 2 for sure. And then those couple episodes of Book of Boba Fett. But yeah, and I'm super looking forward to Ahsoka. So I'm excited about this movie as well. But the movie I'm most excited about is directed by James Mangold, a name that I was not familiar with until I was typing it in my notes. But he directed a couple different movies. But most prominently, he directed Logan. Did you see Logan back in 2017?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to Google his...
Logan, fun fact, Logan was one of the last movies that I've seen in a theater.
Oh, no kidding.
Like within top 10, maybe even top 5.
Oh, okay, hold on. He directed...
he directed The Wolverine and 3:10 to Yuma.
3:10 to Yuma is fucking awesome, yes.
And
That's a
Oliver
great
and
Western.
Company.
Did he really?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
oh,
screenplay.
Time out. This guy's a badass. He directed Walk the Line, the like sort of biography, biopic, whatever you call it, about Johnny Cash. That was with Joaquin Phoenix. That was
didn't see
fucking.
it, but yeah,
that's a great movie. It's a little bit of a melodrama. Like it's not my vibe.
Right.
But I did see it back in the day. It was great. 3:10 to Yuma, great Western. Copland, I've never seen. I don't know what the hell that is. It's from the 90s. The Wolverine, I don't know if I don't remember that movie specifically. It's one of the crappy Fox X-Men movies. But he also directed Ford versus Ferrari and Logan, which was outstanding. I actually saw Logan by myself in a theater. And I showed up and I was like, I'm going to go to the movies by myself. I've never done it before. I'm going to be independent. And then I go there and there was nobody else in the theater. It was really fucking creepy. But the movie was great.
I remember Logan was like the first. Logan was, let's see, was that 2017? So I was like just out of high school. I was still the awkward nerd that like didn't fully understand that, oh, hey, like when you hang out consistently with a girl, even if you haven't said, like, you're kind of dating. You know what I mean? So, like, Logan was the movie that, because I didn't really think of it, but I was just like, oh, yeah, shoot, I'm inviting her, like, all the time. Oh, well.
To things.
And Logan was the movie where she showed up without any friends, and it was just her and I was like, oh, you didn't bring any.
The date.
Oh, okay. All right, great, cool. All right, let's go. I'll buy you some popcorn. And then it was like, all right, yep, cool, we're good. But there's like, I'll just forget. Like in the lobby, I was like, oh yeah, okay, all right, cool. This is how it is now.
Wow. I wish I could live your life. You know how productive I would be if I was that oblivious to girls.
It's
like by comparison,
it's
right?
got its pros and cons, man.
Like and I don't mean to like say that in a negative context. Right?
No, I got
we're
you.
all different people. I'm just like,
yeah,
like it's more of a negative towards myself because it's like that's such a giant part of my brain power that gets taken out all the time.
Yeah, well, it's time, it's money, it's effort.
Oh my god, all the above,
dude. Yeah,
emotional damage. I started with the accent and I pulled out of there, but I was like, well, that might be a little offensive, but okay. Yeah. To circle back though, James Mangold is also directing the new Indiana Jones movie, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Long story short, this director's dope as fuck. He's really good at his job. Yeah. He's made some crazy good movies, a lot of like, especially in like the nerdy space. And he is directing a movie that's set 25,000 years before the original trilogy. That is, for reference, the Old Republic is like 4,000 to 5,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 years before the original trilogy. And that's totally different people and everything. This is 25,000 years before the original trilogy. And it's going to explore the dawn of the Jedi. And the director described it as, yes, my goal is to make like a biblical epic out of this movie. It's supposed like he wants it to be very long, wants it to be like very like grand seeming, and I'm super excited about that because we know nothing about these characters. It's set in the Star Wars universe. This is totally my flavor of movie. Like, great director. I'm super pumped about this.
Yeah, this is like Old Republic era, right? 25,000 years?
Way before. If you were listening to what I said approximately
I was clearly not.
30 seconds ago, this is
it's the big pre-show all over again.
it's the
I was reading what you were saying, yeah.
No,
the grand epic. Okay.
So this is 25,000 years before, and for reference, the Old Republic, like SOTOR and Knights of the Old Republic and stuff, I forget precisely, but it's like between 3 and 5,000 years before the original trilogy. So this is like 20,000 years before the Old Republic.
Yeah, this is
we're going way back. You're going.
It really is Dawn of the Jedi.
It's like literally like you don't have like the Outer Rim is not livable. Like you're not traveling there if you're from a core world. Like you don't have hyperspace lanes. I don't actually know, but this is what I'm assuming. Like dial back the technology a lot. You know, I mean, of course they have lightsabers and chips.
Farms.
And all right, probably not that bad, but
it's just
you can't have
intergalactic cows and blue milk
or green milk potentially. But
right.
You know, actually, that's so long before it might. I mean, like how with the rate of how like cities expand in like decades, like how long would it take for a whole planet to be a city? Right? I don't know.
Right.
I mean, it depends on the composition. Obviously, Earth's mostly ocean. It'd be a whole pain in the ass. But like 20,000 years is not unreasonable for it to be not all city. You know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Or even just like towns or like Tatooine is, you know, where it's just kind of like spaceports, and then you've got all the
other planets
people.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited. Ultimately I'm net positive on all these movies. I'm just skeptical about that one starring Rey, set 15 years after Rise of Skywalker. I'm cautiously optimistic about the Dave Filoni movie wrapping up Mando, but you know, I'm a little disappointed with season 3, so that's got a little of Mando, so that's a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth about that content. But really optimistic about Ahsoka, and then that James Mangold Dawn of the Jedi movie sounds great. Like, I don't want to know anything about any of these characters. Like, blank slate, go be creative, make something dope. Like, I have that barely ties into it, but it's in the same universe. That sounds great. You know, because I feel like a lot of the pitfalls of like Star Wars content is when like you're trying to connect it to other stuff and you don't do it right, or it doesn't make a lot of sense, or it's stupid, or somehow Palpatine returned, that type of stuff. Like, you're going so far back with this movie that it's a blank slate. It's like, yes, the Force exists, and you know you can have Force user and all that fun stuff, but like it's a blank slate. You don't know any characters. You don't know any, like, the technology is probably similar, but not super similar. It's so old before. So I don't know. I'm excited about that because it just lets people, whoever's working on that movie, just be creative and like tell a really good story, which is ultimately what we want, you know?
Yeah, I've been watching, they've been popping up in my YouTube recommended, these like shorts about Star Wars. It's been like, you know, why did Palpatine try to run away from Yoda and all this stuff. Okay. And there's interview clips with George Lucas in there, and he was talking about how his story, like the Star Wars that he wrote, is the Anakin can't speak, is the Anakin Vader story. Like, that's the whole 1 through 6. It's supposed to be like the rise and fall of Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker and Darth Vader.
Yeah.
And so it kind of ends like 1 through 6.
Rise, fall, and then redemption. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and there's all this other stuff that's added in there too and whatnot that it's now become. But he's like, originally when I made the first 3, then I knew then I would make the next 3, and it's supposed to be 1 through 6. And so I'm excited with you in that, like you said, it's hard to tie to the original 6 because they're meant to be just these 6. And so now that you're trying to extrapolate more out of it, you know, whereas now you can go way far or way forward in time, way far back or way far forward in time.
Yeah.
and explore these just, their own little, like you said, the grand biblical epic stories that we all know Star Wars is.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm super pumped about it. And honestly, as we're talking about it, I'm getting more optimistic about that Rey movie, because 15 years is like long enough, far enough away from the sequel trilogy where like it's not like the what happens in that is not relevant. See, and it leaves Rey's sort of role so open ended at the end of those movies that you can basically do whatever you want there as well. The trickiest one in terms of like having to tie into other content is that Dave Filoni movie, because you have to tie in all of the Mando, Boba Fett, Ahsoka storylines and tie it into like, okay, the end point where the First Order comes in, so you have to tie it into that. You know what I mean? You have to like take the roots of the tree and connect it to the branches of the next one. It's sort of that's going to be tricky, but ultimately I'm excited for everything.
I mean, it's more Star Wars content. How can we complain about that, even though we can?
Exactly. And with that, it's time for working class questions. And the first question comes from
me.
None other working class nerds.
Yes, one of the most important working class nerds. Not that not that you aren't all important, but what would you all do without me?
No, now they all know. They all know they're not important.
Less important.
Way to go.
I am alienating our viewers. I'm kidding. Everybody is important. I'm not. All right. So my question is, go ahead.
So wait, here the ATRAX question is for the 10% of you that are still listening and didn't just rage quit the podcast. How long will it take for Marcus to beat Elden Ring, and how bad will the addiction get? For example, will he try the other games, like the other Dark Souls games?
Yeah, Dark Souls, Sekiro, Neo, Bloodborne.
Right.
What do you think?
My answer for that is I don't think Marcus will actually beat Elden Ring. I think he'll play it. I will give him, I'll say 6 weeks plus or minus 2. So 4 to 8 weeks. So a month or 2 more of Elden Ring. And then I think he'll give up on it. Not intentionally, but like he'll like get distracted by some other game or some other content, and he'll start playing that, and then he'll do Elden Ring like less and less often, and then all of a sudden he's just not playing Elden Ring. Because that's kind of what happened when he played Breath of the Wild. He was like, I love Breath of the Wild. This is great. Oh my God, this is stupid. The weapons break. But then he like kept going at it, like kept trying it for about a month or 2. Then he gets sick of it. So that's my answer. About like a month or 2, I would say. How about you?
All right. That's a pretty good one. A month or 2. I'm trying to think of what would come out soon that would distract him more, because I agree, and I almost want to say like maybe 3 weeks, just because it's so brutal.
Yeah, like it's really rough to just keep dying to ads. When you're as bad at a game as Marcus is at Elden Ring, it is tough. That's like you should go to therapy after playing. Yeah,
like the skill gap is really high. Oh man, he's gonna be raging on the airplane. He's gonna like listen to it on the airplane.
You know what? That's why he was telling me to email BetterHelp.com for a sponsorship opportunity. He wanted a discount for his own therapy for dealing with all the stress of trying to play Elden Ring. I got you.
After I played Elden Ring, I tried it and it worked wonders.
BetterHelp.com/WCN. Just kidding, not a sponsor, but maybe someday.
Yeah, no. But yeah, no, I asked that because I actually haven't seen Marcus get this excited about a game since Destiny.
Yeah. Same.
And that was a few months ago. And I mean, we know how that went. So I want to know, I'm curious. I feel like, I wonder if I could get him to at least try one of the other games.
I bet you he would.
But because to me, it's like either what you said will happen or it'll go the other way. And he'll just get super determined
Yeah,
And
he'll just
grind it out.
double. That's exactly the phrase I was going to use. Or he'll double down and speed, like put on stubborn Marcus hat, like the bowling ball guy that's on the bad team from X-Men. Juggernaut, I think his name is.
Oh yeah,
with the big old helmet, just headbutts everything. That'll be Marcus just being determined, putting his head down, and going through all the walls until he beats Elden Ring.
Yep,
that's one or the other. It'll fizzle within a month or two, or he'll just like bulldoze through it. Or
never play Destiny 2 again.
Yes, never go back to the other games.
Right,
and then he'll his wanting to play more than one game will be subverted once again.
Yeah, exactly.
We also have a bunch of questions from Quinn, aka Tarquin, aka the master of the Fashionista channel in our Discord. What is the first question from Quinn?
Quinn asks, "What's the best fruit to go with waffles?"
I have a decently strong opinion about this, and it's mostly to do with the mouthfeel of fruit with waffles.
Okay.
Atrax, do you have any thoughts before
I have two answers. I have the real answer and I have the meme answer.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Let's hear the meme first.
So the meme answer is, of course, pineapple on waffles. Everybody knows pineapple waffles are the best, especially Marcus. That's what Marcus usually puts on his waffles is pineapple.
Yeah, Marcus is a really big pineapple waffle guy.
Yeah.
And if you're listening to this, next time Marcus streams, you should just put pineapple emojis and waffle emojis back to back in his stream. Just keep spamming it the whole time. Don't say anything else. Well, you can say stuff if you'd like to, but don't explain the pineapple waffle combo. Just put it out there, and it'll be a thing. Next thing you know, Marcus will have a pineapple waffle combo emote.
Yeah, and don't make it weird, but if you ever see him in real life, be sure to buy him some pineapple waffles.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then the real answer is blueberry compote, like the blueberry and sugary syrup stuff, that they make.
What? Like blueberry jam stuff?
No, I think it's called blueberry compote, but it's kind of like pie filling.
Oh, okay. I think Stonewall Kitchen makes a thing that I like that. No, but like, how about actual real fresh fruit, though? I think that's what the question is.
Oh, I'd still go blueberries.
Blueberries? Like actual blueberries?
Yeah.
I'm going to go bananas.
Bananas? Ooh, that's a good one, too.
Because, so like, another great answer is strawberries, because the flavor's good, but the mouthfeel sucks. Because, like, strawberries are usually like, excuse me, I'm burping a lot because I'm having a bourbon and Coke on the side here. But the strawberries, the flavor's really good because it's like kind of sweet, but not crazy sweet because you've already got the really sweet syrup going on. Then you've got the waffles to soak it all up, of course. But like the mouthfeel of the strawberries with the seeds, and it's a little extra crunchy, and it's usually colder than the waffle that's hot, and then the syrup is like room temperature or whatever. So like, or hot if you like actually have nice syrup set up. So like the strawberries seem to like clash on the mouthfeel side of things. But a banana is a little softer, like it's usually at room temperature. It like goes with the waffle consistency better. It's a little bit sweet still, but it's not too sweet. It's like a nice balance. It's like banana, waffle, syrup. That's my combo. And I'll do you one more, but I know you have a point to make. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I won't.
I was going to
say,
I'm a big. Wait, hang on. Let me make sure.
Do me one more, Nick.
Quinn didn't ask this already. Okay, so I'm actually a big proponent of the peanut butter syrup combo on a waffle. You do
That's
peanut
what
butter
I was gonna say.
And syrup, and then banana, and that's a whole experience right there.
Mm-hmm. So I was gonna say bananas when you do the peanut butter syrup, or if you're gonna do the strawberries, then you got to go whipped cream.
Good call. Good call.
Strawberry whipped cream waffle. That's awesome. Banana.
Totally agree.
Peanut butter waffle. I see. For me, I'm just, and this goes into Quinn's next question. Best syrup for waffles. Mine is blueberry or boysenberry. See, I go blueberry. I'm like blueberry everything.
That's a great question.
I like putting blueberries in the batter and then putting it, and then you get the blueberry syrup over it. Boysenberry syrup is really good too, but that's more for pancakes.
See, I've never had boysenberry syrup or blueberry syrup, but I've had like that blueberry like pie filling stuff. Like
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I've had it
Yeah.
before. I think Stonewall Kitchen makes one. It comes with like a glass little container that's like square, sort of. I used to get them at that thing in Mount Washington and New Hampshire all the time to give out free samples of it. And my mom would always, she liked it a lot, so she'd always be like, "Go look for extra blueberry jam things."
Yeah.
Because they're free samples. But
Yeah, IHOP has them. If you order the blueberry pancakes at IHOP, it comes with it.
That's cool. So, like the blueberry and boysenberry syrups, do they have like is it like the pie filling or is it actual just syrup?
No, it's just like syrup. It's just
Oh, that's-
blueberry syrup.
Interesting. I've never had that before. I'll have to go look for it. Do you get it at the grocery store or like a Trader Joe's type deal?
Both, I guess.
Okay.
It really depends on your syrup availability, because like out here we've got all sorts of different types of syrups. We've got agave syrups, and then like the regular boysenberry, blueberry, regular maple syrup, Canadian maple syrup. Like there's all sorts of different stuff.
See, like around here, in terms like syrups, well, agave syrup I would think of using in like alcoholic beverages, like making a margarita with agave syrup instead of simple syrup.
Yeah.
But the fruited syrups I don't think I've ever seen before in a grocery store. Probably because like around here we're so close, like in Massachusetts, we're so close to Vermont and New Hampshire that make really good maple syrup that it's just like grades of regular. Like you have like your regular standard issue like Aunt Jemima or like, you know, regular brand, store brand maple syrup, and then you have like the upgraded ones that are actually from Vermont or New Hampshire. But
right.
Interesting. Quinn also asks, what was your favorite moment at PAX?
Listen to the PAX episode where we answered that.
I was going to say 2 episodes ago we did indeed answer that. What the hell did I say? I know what you said. It's your profile picture on Discord, but just overlooking the whole sort of convention hall after the fact on the walkway there.
Yeah, that was absolutely mesmerizing. I was overwhelmed with emotion at that.
Totally get it.
Go check out the PAX pictures if you want to see what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. I don't remember what my favorite moment was. Something hanging out with Marcus and Atrax.
I think for you it was the Peaky Blinders. I think that's what you said was Peaky Blinders.
Well, that was definitely my favorite thing, like game at PAX, but I don't know about my favorite moment. I think my favorite moment was probably upon further review, my favorite moment at PAX was like not one moment, but as usual, I'm picking a Mount Rushmore, but like several instances of just me, Marcus, and Atrax hanging out. Like one of them is you can watch on YouTube right now at youtube.com/MarcusB814, where we're just
chilling at the bar.
We're chilling at the bar and we're just hanging out and we're just like chatting about what we saw and the games we played and making fun of Atrax for ordering a mojito in Boston in March. But yeah. Like moments of us just hanging out is my point. Like us hanging out in the room and just like chilling and like half watching what comedy we put on Chris Rock and Theo Vaughn, I think it was, like for comedy, and like barely watched either one. We were just shooting the shit with each other, and then I don't know, just like hanging out with me, you, Marcus, and Joey Feta at that like tequila bar place. Like just like the hanging out moments were really great too. But there's definitely a lot of fun. That and between those and then like watching Joey go around because he loves tabletop and board games. Just go around and like be in awe of all the tabletop and board games. I ended up buying like 8 games or something. But I don't know. I think the moments I enjoyed the most were having to do with like other people also enjoying, you know?
Yeah.
But Quinn had a 4th question, believe it or not.
Was there anything that warmed your heart this week, Nick?
This week,
could be last week too, I guess.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Do you anything pop into your head right away?
So I don't know if it warms my heart. I maybe warms your heart in like like someone did something nice for you.
Yeah.
I can't off the top of my head think of that, but there's something where everybody's been sick at work this week, including myself. I was off yesterday and the day before, which if Marcus is listening to this, he called me the last couple of days. He's like, "Hey, are you on lunch?" I'm like, Yeah, man. Yeah, just on my lunch break.
Oh, it's like 3:30. Wow, your time.
He's
Wow.
like, yeah. Oh, I tried to catch you on lunch. It's like 1:00. I was like, perfect timing, man. Yeah, I just got on lunch. Meanwhile, I was laying in bed, trying not to throw up.
Mm-hmm.
But so there's a stomach bug going around, and
Wah.
I was out for 2 days, and I come back, and everybody, I found out not everybody, but a lot of people have been out sick.
Yep.
And so just the understanding at the company so far of people just like being sick, and I guess it's slow, so it makes it easy, but there hasn't been any pressure of like, oh, really? You're sick? All right, fine. Like, whatever. It's just, okay, well, get better.
That's
And
nice.
That feels nice because I've worked at companies where it's just like, oh, you're sick again? Get better. And I'm somebody who gets sick a lot. So, to hear that, that made me feel a little bit better too, that people were understanding, because it is going around and people are like, they're getting sick. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that was not fun, but it made me feel better that, oh, hey, we're all in this together.
Yeah, totally. I feel like when I worked in the emergency department, there was a lot of that, like, oh, really? You're sick? Like, the eye squinting, like, type of behavior. Sort of like if you had to call out, it was like really frowned upon because it means like other people have to do more work or whatever. But like in the office I work at now, it's totally not like that. It's like, oh, no problem. Yeah, stay home, whatever. It's fine. Like, we'll figure it out. We got your back. Like, it's very team oriented, like welcoming, like very warm receptions. But anything warm my heart this week? I don't think so, really. I don't think anything. I didn't have any. Just kidding. I got something today, actually. So my sister, Ariel, who's been on the podcast before as like our comic book expert for Marvel-y stuff. She lives pretty far away from us. We live in Western Mass. She lives near Boston, and she's getting a dog. So she lives solo, but she has I kind of have anxiety, but she has a lot of anxiety. So she's getting a dog, an Australian Shepherd, and she's going to have it trained as like a service dog, therapy dog, emotional therapy dog, something like that.
Yeah.
Like
emotional support. Yeah.
But yes, it helps you calm shit down, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the precise word for it, but and she told us today that she can go pick up the puppy in April 29th.
Oh, that's awesome.
Which is when I'm in Texas. So puppy is extremely cute. It's a black and white, mostly black and white Australian Shepherd, and it's going to be great.
Australian Shepherds are so cute.
They're extreme. Even when they're adults, they're really cute.
Yeah.
Because I think this is like a mini Shepherd potentially. I don't know if that's a thing really, but like it's not like super full grown. It's like slightly smaller than normal Australian Shepherd.
Medium sized, yeah.
Yeah, definitely a medium sized dog. Which is good because she has an apartment in Boston. But it's like it's gonna keep her active. It's a super smart dog. So like it's like can be trained. And my sister is like crosses all the T's, dots all the I's. She absolutely loves dogs. Like babysits Marcus's dogs all the time. Like her boyfriend's dog like loves her. She's like it's like the favorite. Likes my sister more than like anybody else in his family.
Right.
Super dog person. So like I know it means the world to my sister. So like knowing that like, oh my God, that you have like a date that you're gonna go get the dog is huge. So like I know she lives near Boston. I'm flying out of Boston to go to Texas. So on my way back, I come back Monday, May 1st. I'm gonna stop by her apartment and like hang out with her and the dog and see the puppy and everything. It's gonna be great. But so that's pretty heartwarming.
Post pictures. That's awesome.
100%. Of course. I'll post all the pictures. And I'll have my sister take a picture with the dog. And I'll use that for my dating profiles. Oh, is that your dog? No, it's my sister's dog. But we can go visit it after we're dating.
Yeah, exactly.
No. Yeah, just reel them in. We have one more question from Rayu. He asks, if at MarksB814 were in this scenario, how many waffles would he want? And he posted a video. Atrax has seen the video. I have not, so I am not. It's from Jeffrey Dallas.
All right,
I believe it's a music video called Waffles.
It's just a YouTube video.
Wait a minute, Rhett and Link are in this?
Yeah. This is like years ago. I was a
oh my God, this is
I was
old.
a preteen, maybe a teenager when this came out. There are no more waffles.
So basically, this guy eats the whole box of waffles by himself.
So the
And
scenario
doesn't leave any waffles for Rhett and Link.
Yes. So in this video, for those who have not watched it, if you want to watch it, go check it out in the Discord.
Yep.
Basically, this video is someone is sitting there. This roommate is sitting there, and he has a stack of 12 waffles on his plate. And Rhett and Link are the roommates that are pissed off that he took all the waffles. And it is the argument back and forth between him and those two. And then at the end, you find out that it's like it's supposed to be a sales pitch for waffles. And there's some other comedic effects and things like that going on. I'll save some of it for those that want to watch it. Good old Julian Smith videos, waffles. But if Marcus were in this scenario, Marcus would be the one sitting there with the stack of 12 waffles, be like, sorry, I woke up early. I got here. I want to eat 12 waffles. Sucks for you guys. Actually, he'd be more like, oh, dude, you should have got up earlier so that you could get these waffles. Because like, dude, these waffles are so good, dude. Right. There's maple syrup on these and all sorts of stuff and dude, it's so good, man. It's absolutely so good. As Atrax would say, it's top tier.
Oh, that's totally going in the intro. Well done, Atrax. Oh my God. Yeah, no, I agree. Marcus would have all the waffles.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe you had your leftover dinner next to you to do that sound effect. That was fucking perfect. Whew.
Oh man.
Oh my God. Speaking of
Nick,
Marcus. Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say. Actually, you go first.
I was just going to say, you know what's been not happening a lot this episode?
What?
Like, we haven't been interrupted a lot. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I feel like I've interrupted you occasionally, and you've interrupted me. But generally speaking, we get to get through our sentences without being interrupted for some just random nonsense.
Right.
But you've got me thinking now, Nick. Don't you think we've kept the people waiting with our random nonsense? We've kept them waiting for their exclusive sneak peek.
That's right. It's time for the exclusive sneak preview of our PAX East interviews.
We're here with Max the Gray, AIE legend.
My name is James Pratt. The game is Amanda the Adventurer, and I'm the game designer, video editor, project lead.
And the voice of Wooly the Sheep.
The games like post-apocalyptic, Mad Max, Death Race 2000, or Car Wars, for example. The whole idea, cars and guns, pretty much.
What was some of the more challenging parts of developing a game like that?
Parry itself, making it very clear, very juicy, to have a good feeling of the parry.
Yeah.
And good feedback about the colors as well, the switching colors.
The Mexican is a game about Silas. He was used when he was a child by the main seekers who are police. And he was used because he has the power to see the magic in the others. Mm-hmm. He was imprisoned for 15 years, and the game starts when he is able to escape.
So, tell us about the game.
Yes, so Alien Hominid Invasion is a reimagining, continuation of the original Alien Hominid, which was the Flash game that kind of brought the company into existence.
We're here with Ember Studios, right?
Yes.
And the game is Strayed Lights.
Yes.
Could you tell us a little bit about the game?
Yes, of course. So it's a game where you are going to fight your inner demons.
What are you guys talking about in here?
Find out next episode of Working Class Nerds.